Hello and welcome. She was crowned the most beautiful woman in the world, but hates the term beauty queen. Trained in Shakespeare as an actress, she's lived between London and Johannesburg, but finds herself regularly back in her native India, where she says she can focus on her charitable causes, mostly improving the lives of needy children. This week on One, meet the former Miss World, Diana Hayden. She was born and raised in a close but very large family and looks back on her childhood in the Indian city of Hyderabad with fond memories. But it was in Mumbai's glamour industry she got her break. Diana Hayden had dropped out of school aged 14 and worked in odd jobs before she made a name for herself managing modelling and singing talent. She hadn't set out to become a model, let alone a competitor in beauty contests. But after her boss submitted her photos for the Miss India pageant, Hayden found herself being groomed for the spotlight. She went on to win the title and then the Miss World crown in 1997. Hayden now divides her time between acting and supporting the charities in India close to her heart. Diana, great to chat with you.
Thank
you. I'm going to start with the term beauty queen, which is how many of the magazines label you.
Nice way to start.
So the thing is, how do you feel about that term? Because it's more than just that, isn't it?
It's much more than just that, and I hate the term. I absolutely hate it. But, you know, it comes with a title, with the whole positioning, so it's part of it, but it's much more than that.
Where are you now in your life, if you like? Are you focused more on career, on personal life?
I'm somebody who is very focused on my career, but at the same time, my personal life actually is more important than my career to me.
How do you balance the two?
You just get someone who is extremely sensible and who can handle it.
And in terms of like not being, you know, basically you're seen as public property. If you're out there, you're acting and doing other things. So how do you, keep the two sides of you separate?
I try to keep my personal life extremely private because the last thing you need is everything in the papers constantly, and it gets horrible. You get up in the morning, you read nasty stuff about yourself, but it's all part and parcel of it. And I just juggle the two. Keep my life separate, my personal life separate, keep work separate.
And, I mean, beyond using sort of your God-given gift, if you like, you have to still overcome the stereotype. So what do you do specifically to try to overcome the beauty queen stereotype?
You know, Riz, I don't care what people think. If they're going to put me in a pigeonhole, then that's their problem, it's not mine. I am me, I lead my life the way I choose to lead it. And, if they like it, great. If they don't like it, it's their problem.
You're acting, and you decided to come and try Bollywood for a while. What made you pick on Bollywood?
When you win Miss World, you have all the offers. They just pour in. And I wasn't interested in acting then. I wasn't interested at all in acting. I came from managing pop singers and, this really rough and tough, screaming down the microphone at dancers, and I came from a corporate world. And when the offers came in for acting, I went no, because this is my philosophy in life. Life is very short. You spend half the time sleeping and the other half working, so you better enjoy what you're doing. And I just didn't think it was me. But I went away to London, and I had offers in the West because I'd go to Cannes for the film festival. And I kept saying no, and then I thought, why am I saying no? Let me see what I'm saying no to. You can't say I don't like tea without tasting tea. So I did a short course of acting at RADA, and I got excellent feedback. And then I did a 3-year course in 1 year at the Drama Studio of London. And I got nominated Best Actress in School, and then I went to South Africa and did a Shakespeare film called Othello. And then I said, why am I saying no to Bollywood now? I've got into acting, and I came here and tested the waters, did a guest appearance in a film here called Jazeera, and then I said, okay.
And how was the experience? What did you find about it?
It was good. It's not like working in London or working anywhere in Europe. It's all over the place. It's kind of organized in this disorganized way, and you're not
consistently inconsistent.
Exactly, consistently inconsistent. You do have your time where you're about to take a shot and suddenly they go, okay, no, wait, these are your new lines, and it's the paper's rested against the wall and the new lines being written. that throws you a bit because I'm used to doing rehearsal and doing rehearsal and doing rehearsal again and again. But, you know, you get used to it.
How would you describe your childhood?
My childhood was fun because I grew up with this huge extended family. Now, you know how Indian families are. My mother has just 2 children, but I think because she came from a family of 11, so she learned her lesson. But we were like 30 cousins. So if there was anybody's birthday, which happened every weekend almost, it was just family. And it was a riot. It was presents and it was noise and music, and Sunday was, you know, it was just festive all the time. It was fantastic. I used to ride bikes. I used to play kabaddi. I used to,
You're a tomboy, basically.
I was a complete tomboy because I had a brother, and you either play harder and faster or you go and play with the dolls. And that wasn't me.
Now, you're Christian, but you don't consider yourself ritualistic. You're spiritual, the way you describe it. So how do you apply that to your life?
I was in school. I won Bible class, you know, Bible prizes, awards. I think I must have been about 10 years old, and I won the catechism prize of the whole school. And I remember I'm 11 years old, 10, 11 years old, and I got this book which says, "Home is where the heart is." And it was actually a romantic novel. I guess they didn't expect somebody of my age to, I remember even the cover of that book. They didn't expect someone of my age. I went to church every single day, every single morning at 6 in the morning, very active in Bible class and all that. But I grew up, and my philosophy has changed. You know, with life, with your experiences, I just believe no matter what God you believe in, we just have different names for it. At the end of it, it's about being a good person, having your values right in life and your guidelines right in life. And I think if you can sleep peacefully at the end of the day and say, I have done nothing that I regret in life today or so far, you're all right.
So childhood, through that early upbringing in Hyderabad, on to Bombay for fame and fortune?
You won't believe this, but I came to Bombay. Not so much fame and fortune. I was just always hungry. I just wanted more. I worked in Hyderabad from the time I was 14 years old. I quit studying in the 8th standard when my parents separated, and I just worked from then on. I had the weirdest jobs. I was a receptionist, I was a telephone operator. The weird one is when I sold attar in bulk in Crawford Market. Yeah, it's the Arabic perfume. But Crawford Market is like, you know, it's really right down there, rough and horrible. But yeah, I've had probably about 15, 20 jobs. And I came to Bombay when I was 16 the first time. I lied through my teeth and got these jobs that I had. And then I came back when I was 18 with 250 rupees in my pocket. And, but I had no one at the station. I had a family friend who was supposed to meet me at the station, and he wasn't there. So I went and stayed in this hostel, which took 100 rupees a night. So with 250, that was 2 nights down. And then I went knocking from door to door looking for accommodation. And there was this Pakistani woman married to this Britisher, and they took me in. And she said, don't worry about how much you pay me. Just go and get yourself a job, and we'll talk about it later. Just get yourself off the streets.
What did you do?
I took my luggage, and I moved in with her. And I went and found myself a job. That's the other one. I found myself a job. That job lasted for about 15 days. And I stayed with them for about 6 months.
So at what point did you make the transition where you were dealing with models in the beauty world and the glamour, if you like?
You know, I used to manage Mehnaz, and when I worked with BMG, and Mehnaz has the song which was called Banungi Main Miss India, and it's about this girl backstage, you know, who is helping all the models. And that was me. That was really me, because I was there backstage managing these girls, managing Anaida, Mehnaz, Mantra, which is a band, and Piyush Soni. And I'd see that their wardrobe was right. I would see they had pins before they needed it. I would see that their medication was there before they needed any.
Medication?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if they needed a Crocin, if they needed a painkiller, if they needed anything, if anybody had a stomach upset, it was there with me. I was just this misorganizer backstage with this hoarse voice because I was constantly screaming at the dancers, and I think I was a nightmare for them. But you got to be, you know, when you're young and you're a single girl and you're managing something like that, you've got to be really tough.
How did they treat you?
With a lot of respect.
And in terms of what you learned about the beauty industry and the sort of pageants,
yes.
What was your feeling? Was it something that appealed to you or not?
I never watched pageants. Before that, it just wasn't me. I was somebody who came from a working background and was a tomboy before that, and I was still a tomboy. I would go to work with these jeans and these XXL shirts and who never glanced in the mirror. Because see, Riz, I came from a family that was very good looking. And in Indian terms of good looking, it's light eyes and light skin. So I was really called the skinny black bitch. Whenever my aunts or someone were really upset with me and they'd have a fight, that's what they'd call me. So I have very good looking cousins and very good looking aunts. I remember I used to see my aunts dress up and I'd look like that and go, wow, because they were so gorgeous. Because from the time I was born, the only thing I heard about beauty was white skin and light eyes. So when that gets drummed into your head, even after winning the Miss World, I would say I never felt beautiful. I always felt, I knew I could speak well, I knew I was confident, and I knew I was scared of nothing and nobody. So I always thought that that is what gave me an edge. But traveling the world a couple of years later, everyone says she's beautiful without even knowing that I was Miss World. People would just see me and go, wow. I'd have people on the street sometimes go, you're beautiful, and I'd go, really? Okay.
Well, Diana, we're going to find out how you went from being skinny black sidekick to superstar in just a moment. Don't go away. You're watching One on One. We'll be back with Diana Hayden in just a moment.